welcome, man. Welcome back to the channel. Real quick. Woo, real quick, guys. What is going on, man? Y'all can see, y'all recognize all this. Ladies and gentlemen, because this center portion of the console look like this, that would make this a Generation 1. Okay? Now, some of you PT Cruiser geeks out there know that between 01 and 05, that version of the PT Cruiser was considered Generation 1. From 06 and higher, it was Generation 2. From the inside standpoint, only a few things changed: the steering wheel and the center console. Anyway, this car got some problems, guys. We have to find out what is wrong with it. Yes, people still bring their car to the shop to figure out it's an automatic. They say no speedometer. Okay, the speedometer don't work. Whoa, the check engine light is on, which means the fault code, which also means because this is a 05 model, I can't use my YTEC, which means I'm gonna have to use my older scan to name the DRB. I'm gonna put a link right here, guys. Y'all can see how well that DRB works for the older Chrysler Dodge Jeep product. Okay, I think that's what it was basically designed for. Now, it can go generic, which means, what I mean by that is it can check out older model cars as far as P codes and check engine lights and things like that. Thing about it, you will need a card to put in the backside of the scan to convert it to a generic standpoint. But yes, you can check any car out with it if you have the proper cards and things like that. But yes, that tool has done wonders for me over the years, and I refuse to let it go, get rid of it, misuse it, mishandle it, loan it out. I refuse to do any of that because basically no one repairs them anymore. Excuse me. So I have to maintain it. All right, guys. Y'all know how I operate. First things first. Okay, I got tack working. I won't know about speedo until I move. I got gas in the car, and it's cold. So let's see if we can duplicate it. That's what I'm getting at, guys. We have to duplicate the concern. In order to duplicate if the speedometer is working, we likely have to drive it, guys. So I'm gonna back. I'm in reverse right now, back and back. So let's go forward. Let's go drive. Let's get on the road, guys. Y'all know I can't film and record at the same time, but I can move around enough to see. And ladies and gentlemen, I got a feeling I'm going 10 miles an hour, and my speedometer is not moving at all. Okay, guys, the problem has been duplicated. First step in any kind of repair: verify that it's actually doing it. All right, no need for me to get on the road now. Now, guys. Okay, let me make sure. Yes, y'all can see I'm driving. Absolutely nothing. So, guys, I'm gonna go in the shop and we're gonna take this diagnostics this troubleshooting to the next step, next phase. All right, I will let you know what that is once we get in the shop. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go to ad break. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. All right, guys, I am now in the shop. Let's go take a look under the hood, guys. All the PT Cruisers pretty much was equipped with the 4-speed, the A604 transmission, or the 41TE, whichever one you want to call it. And some year models utilize output speed sensor to deliver that speed sensor data to the cluster. Okay, because y'all know, keep in mind, PT Cruiser has no BCM, no body control module. Okay, the electronics was not sophisticated enough to warrant such, so signals travel through other things to get to its destination. Okay, the signal from the output speed sensor likely hardwired straight to the cluster. I'm not sure, I have to research that, but for now, let's go under the hood and see what we got going on. All right, guys. Yes, This is 604. Not sure if it's the older model. Might have to go up in the air, but for now, let me grab my scan tool and see what the fault code is with the checking light. All right, so let's get with it, man. All right, guys, welcome back. I have my scan tool hooked up. Now let's go under. I'm under the engine functions right now, but let's go under read DTC, and what we will see is P0501, and that stands for Vehicle Speed Sensor #1 Performance. Okay, basically, this is a 604, guys. This transmission has 2 speed sensors on it, an input and an output speed sensor. Okay. Now the output speed sensor is used to, it's there bolted to the screwed into the transmission to measure the speed of the, I want to say the turbine. No, it's not the turbine, but it's on the input clutch assembly. There's some gear. I have overhauled plenty of these transmissions. That sensor, this is the input speed sensor. Okay, so it screws in the transmission and it's monitoring the speed of the input clutch assembly, the hub. Okay, and the output speed sensor does the same thing. Okay, but from time to time they'll fail, guys, so I'm gonna have to write up an estimate for an output speed sensor. That's the sensor that's responsible for delivering the amount of speed that the car is doing. All right, so I thought I had an extra one. I do not, but I will get another one and get it replaced. So y'all hang tight, don't go anywhere. Let me write up an estimate for an output speed sensor and maybe a trans service. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Welcome, man. Here we back again, guys. Y'all remember the PT Cruiser I had with no speedometer? Okay, no speedometer. Now, here's the parts they got me, all right? Remember, y'all, it's well, if you don't remember, keep in mind, there's a lot of things can affect the operation of your speedometer. This is the output speed sensor that they got me. Okay, this can definitely cause your speedometer not to work. This is the input. I can only assume that when they put this in because they like to do the speed sensors in pairs. And also we're going to service the transmission. Now, keep in mind, guys, ATF plus 4, you really don't have to be Mopar, just recommend it. But ATF plus 4 is what goes in this. This is a 41 TE, formerly known as an A604. Okay, so, and also keep in mind there is no gasket. Well, you can purchase a kit that will include a gasket. I highly recommend against that because they always come back leaking. Chrysler recommend we use this RTV. This is Mopar RTV, but I suspect it doesn't have to be Mopar, just need to be RTV. Okay, now this is my opinion. You can use whatever you want, but Chrysler calls for RTV. And again, the only thing I can suspect is because it gasket will not seal properly. A quart gasket between that steel pan and that aluminum transmission case just doesn't seal properly. They'd much rather use RTV. Okay, I'm getting ready to replace these. Now, because I'm doing the input speed sensor also, that means I'm gonna have to come from this side up. Okay, if you're just doing the output speed sensor, you can merely get away with doing it just from under the bottom because the output speed sensor is on the far left side of the transmission. You can easily get a 1-inch wrench on there and replace that, but they want me to do the input also. So I'm gonna go in from the top, maybe, at least I'm gonna attempt to. Sometimes you got to remove the battery and the tray. I figure it out as I go. Now, also keep in mind, guys, the speedometer. Okay, like I was saying earlier, that's a number of things that can cause it not to work. The speedometer cluster itself can give you problems. Okay, also a feature built into the controls called I don't know if y'all heard of this, but pinion factor. Yes, pinion factor can affect your speedo operation. If your speedometer, if your pinion factor is not set, that setting is in the TCM. Now this is a PCM, but the transmission module is always the 4th connector. The transmission functions are included in this module. Okay, so depending on what kind of scan tool you have, hopefully your scan tool will allow you to check and adjust pinion factor. But if there is no pinion factor programmed into the module, your speedometer will not work. All right, and like I say, another one is your actual speedometer. The cluster itself could cause it not to work. So I'm gonna go through those two when I get in the car. But for now, let me get these parts replaced, and we're gonna go from there, guys. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. All right, guys. I was able to finagle the input speed sensor out. Man, it was tight, but I was able to squeeze up through here
with my 1-inch. That is a 1-inch 1-inch socket. So I got the input out. Now the output is fairly easy, guys, because like I say, it's on the outskirt. You can see it right there. So I got it unplugged. Merely take your 1-inch wrench and just you can get that on there like this. All you need is one good turn like that, and it's loose at that point. So it's just a matter of unscrewing it. Alright, got that pin off, guys, and to my surprise, there is not a lot of debris on the magnet. Okay, this is a telltale sign right here. This little debris you're seeing right here is kind of normal, guys. I mean, things gonna break down over time. The clutch material will break down. This car has almost 50,000 miles. But this car has 150,000 miles on it. And the customer said she can't recall it ever being replaced. Have it ever been replaced? I don't know. Okay, I don't know what the previous owner did, but make sure you get this O-ring out of here too. So, guys, I'm gonna finish this up. I gotta clean this pan up, get all the old RTV off. I'm gonna use a razor blade, clean this up, put a new filter on here, reseal everything up, go back in with ATF4, guys, ATF plus 4, and that should about wrap this car up. Welcome back, guys. We're back in this PT. I got this thing running. Now what I want to do, guys, I want to show you a feature on this scan tool. Not sure how it works on the other scan tool. Let me go on the transmission, especially if you're dealing with speedometer issues. Okay, there's a feature on here called pinion factor. Pinion factor is where we go in and program the tire sides and try to team it up with the TCM function so the speedometer would be accurate. If there is no reason, for whatever reason, there is no pinion factor factored into the computer, your speedometer might not work. Now see, here it is, number 3, pinion factor. Okay, now I did earlier have to go in. I didn't have the camera running, but I went in and put in the correct tire size. Okay, the wrong tire size was installed. All that means your speedometer should work, it just may be a little off, but I have everything corrected now. I just want to show you guys. Okay, I have the tire selected as P205 55 R16. Now hypothetically, if that was wrong, press enter to reset pinion factor. Okay, let me press enter just to go through the motion what you got. It will give you options on which tires to set. Okay, the speedometer is different from tire size to tire size. All right, this is the tire size I want, so I'm gonna push enter and attempting reset. Now it is set to that. Okay, now guys, I have this transmission full. I'm gonna go check the level and then go on a test drive, and we're gonna verify and make sure the speedometer is now working. Okay guys, now there's one more feature I want to explain to you that I always tend to do after every transmission service, and it is called quick learn. Okay, right there. Now all that does, guys, is simply fills up electronically with the engine running, press and hold the brake pedal. All we're doing here is filling up the clutch packs, guys. It's not that you're gonna lose that fluid or lose that pressure. It's just I tend to do it after every transmission service, and in fact, on your test drive, you will essentially learn it anyway. You will fill up your clutch packs anyway on a test drive. This feature is simply called quick learn. Okay, learn it quickly, obviously. All right, press and hold the brake, move shift level to drive. Now press enter, initializing, please wait. Move shifter to neutral. Move shifter to overdrive. Quick learn in progress. There you go, I felt it. Okay, you're gonna feel a little jerk of a forward gear. Move shift selector in park. And ladies and gentlemen, press enter and we are done. That's it, guys. Last but not least, guys, the test drive. To sum everything up, I showed you some things that can stop your speedometer from working. I showed you some issues with the cluster that could potentially stop your speedometer from working. And I showed you some things concerning the speed sensors that could affect your speedometer operation. All right, I hope you got something out of it, guys. That's all I have. Let's get ready to go on a test drive. We're going to reverse. Okay, enough is enough. Make sure speedometer operation is set. Okay, I'm still in the shop, so once we pick up some speed, the speedometer should move. Because before, it wouldn't even budge. That's because it hadn't got a hold to JT yet. Okay, look at that. Y'all see that speedometer moving? Yes. Guys, we have fixed the problem. I mean, I'm only going slow right now, but the problem is fixed. I now have speedo operation. Now, I can proceed to my test drive. Guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Y'all see that speedometer moving? Thanks for watching. I can't get out that way. Comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next video, guys. Thank you.